Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you may already know, this is a series I started way back when in the Battlefield 3 days, basically whoring myself out for cheap views, running a suggested loadout from one of you in the comments section. Now, mostly, this is a not so tactical series where most of the loadouts are either troll or bad or just plain ugly looking. Really, I get a chance to try out a kit, a combination that I haven't thought of before, and maybe have good results with it. Mostly not though. So, today, a fun suggestion comes from a friend of mine, Lighter357, who suggests a more or less stupid amounts of fun kit called BOOYAH Headshot. Now, I would have called it something like Potato Masher or, Operation Locker Mincer. So, basically, as you can see, it's a kit built around the Dow 12 shotgun, and it includes the buckshot ammo, a Cobra sight, a muzzle brake, and the Dow 12's default ergo grip. Now, I'm not sure, by the way, if the stats for the shotgun include the fact that it comes with an ergo grip, because you can't really select anything else for that slot, but, I present to you the stats as they are. Now, as a secondary, I also have the Servo Shorty with a ghost ring, a flashlight, and a compensator. Also with me are C4 and Claymore mines, which I've had a ton of fun using. I just set booby traps all over and watched the Bambis take a frequent flyer miles trip upwards. Also, I have, I don't know if I mentioned, the RGO grenades, my favorite grenades, and the machete knife as my knife, as well as the perimeter defense field upgrade. Now, as you can see, most of these weapon attachments are plain fun, if nothing else, but really not helping me any with the way this weapon works. It's not making the weapon any better at its function. I still will try to make some sort of sense with these shotgun stats in Battlefield 4, as I believe the attachments work the same way on a shotgun as they would on an assault rifle, but in this case the attachments are pretty redundant. Obviously the flashlight on the small shotgun is completely unnecessary, and so is the compensator, and this isn't a precision weapon, but on the Dow 12 the attachments look even more ridiculous, as the muzzle brake does admittedly decrease the upwards recoil, of which granted the shotgun has plenty, as it's, a shotgun, but given the painfully slow rate of fire of a semi-automatic shotgun, it's all but redundant, as the aim will reset anyway between shots because they come so far apart. So is the laser, by the way. It's pretty redundant. It decreases the hipfire spread of the weapon some, but how do you quantify the hipfire spread on a pellet gun whose ammo spreads out in a cone anyway? So, the laser helps the enemy more than me, as it makes me stick out like a sore thumb in the midst of healthy thumbs. Now, shotguns in Battlefield 4 were a bit broken from release of the game, Not sure if that's been fixed or not. Sometimes you will see yourself get, a headshot, a one-hit kill with a buckshot at a distance that you think shouldn't work with buckshot, and sometimes point-blank kills don't work. And, the thing is, I was about to say that the Cobra sight, any sight on this on this shotgun is pretty unnecessary, as, you don't have to be a surgeon with it. But here's the thing. With the shotguns, you sometimes experience this accuracy bug in hipfire. So with it being full bar, sometimes you might as well be ADSing before taking that shot. Not sure if this was fixed or not, but just something for you to consider. Obviously, an RDS or iron sights on your shotgun isn't going to really make a difference when targeting. It's probably just a matter of preference. Or maybe you feel like the Dow 12 being a pretty massive shotgun in Battlefield 4 and, positioned pretty close to your character's eyes, covering up some close range targets, may be a bit too much for your screen. So, well, then, you may want to, it would make sense to equip an RDS with it, just to open up some of the real estate on your screen, to clear it up some. And another thing is, in Battlefield 4, people like to run the defensive perk, squad upgrade. And as you may know, it seriously takes the oomph out of buckshot damage up close, as opposed to flechettes, which go straight through the armor, or at least it used to. Now, I do believe that DICE tweaked the defensive perk upgrade so that it doesn't protect you now as much as it used to. So now buckshot has a bit more damage potential and more than it did before. And so, now it would make a lot more sense for people to choose buckshot over flechettes. Now, the Dow 12 shotgun has a second biggest magazine of all shotguns in the game at 12 shells, and these are kept in a drum, much like a revolver, so no pump action here. Now, on a related note, the reload of this shotgun in Battlefield 4 and its animation is a bit on the long side, where you have to insert the shell into the drum and then rotate it by grabbing it in the front of the drum magazine, with the whole operation clocking in at 1.18 seconds per shell, which is in fact the longest among pump action shotguns in Battlefield 4. Obviously, I'm not mentioning the magazine-fed shotguns like the Saiga, but I do believe the reload animation in Battlefield 3 on the Dow 12 was slightly better. And I think it was basically you inserting the shell and turning the drum, the magazine, in the same movement. So it basically didn't require you to spend time reaching for the drum in the front of it. So the reload animation is something that will stay with you in your nightmares, as you will be, reloading non-stop more or less, as each kill will require several shells. Luckily, the reload can be interrupted by firing the Dow 12. Now, this shotgun, the Dow 12 in Battlefield 4 and 3, and before that, seems to be the game equivalent of the real-life Armcell Striker, also known as the Sentinel Arms Company Striker 12, or the Protected Bulldog, or simply the Protector. And it's even referred to as the Protector in the Battlefield 4 game files. Now, it was designed in South Africa by a fella named Hilton R. Walker in 1981. Actually, he was a Zimbabwean who brought over his plans for the shotgun with him when he moved to South Africa. And the shotgun is used by none other than the South African National Defense Force, which is kind of obvious, as well as the Israeli police. So, right now I'm going to post some specific stats for the Dow 12 shotgun that I've calculated myself for these attachments, as SimThick doesn't seem to carry any attachment numbers for the shotguns. These are not confirmed by any means, so they may be wrong. Alright, so the Dow 12 loaded with the 12 gauge buckshot will do 18 damage maximum at 16 meters, which will drop off to 6 at 30 meters. Now keep in mind that this is per pellet damage, so the more pellets you stuff into a target, the more damaged it becomes. The Dow 12 also sports a semi-automatic rate of fire, which clocks in at 200 rounds per minute in Battlefield 4, with the buckshot pellets coming out at 300 meters a second muzzle velocity. As I said, the reload time on the Dow 12 is nothing to sneer at, clocking in at a painful 1.18 seconds per shell, and considering you will be reloading like almost non-stop, this reload animation will get extremely annoying. Now, the muzzle brake really has no place on a shotgun, I think, especially a semi-automatic one with a slow rate of fire like the Dow 12, because of, how slow rate of fire that it has. I mean, the shotgun will reset to idle by the time you can fire the next shot anyway, so it makes decreasing the upwards recoil pretty redundant. But I tried to calculate its stats anyway, so, and please don't take this as confirmed though, because it isn't. And the laser sort of helps with your hip fire spread on the Dow 12 as with any other gun, and I sort of tried to calculate these numbers myself here, so don't judge me too harshly, as SimThick hasn't yet published the confirmation on those. But obviously, having said that, the laser improves your hip fire spread somewhat, and it doesn't actually mean it will improve the pellet spread on the 12 gauge buckshot. No, it will simply mean that the same conical spread of the buckshot is now moving inside. It has the potential to move inside the same smaller area when in hip fire, when you are standing or moving, and the gun kind of sways side to side. It will sort of sway in a smaller area. Now keep in mind that though the laser makes it very easy for the enemies to spot you running around, so all in all, not the attachment I'd use on a shotgun. And if you really want to influence the spread of the pellets, make it tighter, there's the full or the partial choke attachment in Battlefield 4 that you can put on the end of the shotgun barrel, and that will, group the pellets tighter in a smaller cone as they exit the gun. And other than that, I had a ton of fun setting C4 traps for Bambis in this loadout, and watching them acquire some frequent flyer miles, taking off like Sputnik, or should I say Sputnik, because That is the correct way to say it. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Loadout. And now, because I don't feel like suffering alone, Lighter must also run this loadout and upload it to YouTube, and I'll accept the link down below in the comments section. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.